you a songwriter? Are you looking to turn your songwriting passion into a full-time gig? Whether you are just at the start of your songwriting journey or a seasoned industry professional, this show is made for you. Welcome to The Songwriter Show, bringing together songwriting news, interviews, and community. Now, welcome your host, Sarantos.
Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and welcome back to The Songwriter Show, right here on Reality Radio 101. I'm your humble host, Sarantos. I'm a solo music artist and songwriter who's been writing lyrics for as long as I can remember. Words are so important to me, and that's why I'm thrilled to host this show for all of you every single Tuesday evening. I believe that every song is a story. Tonight, I'm so happy and proud to have on the show Bill Reid. He started out as a teenager with a proverbial $5 guitar, working nights on a lonely Oklahoma City parking lot. His first gigs were at nearby coffee houses, learning from Hoyt Axton, Josh White Sr., Mike Brewer, Bill and Gill, and many others as they came through town. He honed his craft in Minneapolis, where he met bluesmen like Corner, Ray and Glover, and recorded his first and extremely forgettable album, The Folk Singer Cometh.
And now, welcome this week's special guest.
Welcome to the show, Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, and I'm flattered to be on the show with Sarantos.
Thank you. I love reading your bio, man. I could tell you have a little bit of sarcasm and humor, and you're a little witty, just like me, so I'm looking forward to talking to you.
It covers up my lack of talent.
You know what? That's a great way to put it for me, not for you. I'm not saying you have no talent. That's a great way to think about it. So tell us a little bit about, you have a very extensive bio here. Tell us a little bit about what's going on recently. I know you're on this year's Grammy ballot for some stuff, and what do you got going on?
Well, it's exciting for me. This is our fifth time on the Grammy ballot. We've not got a nomination yet, but there's still hope. I've been recording primarily blues and performing blues, mostly in sleazy bars, and got to give all credit to the band in Nashville, the group who play with me and teach me and tolerate me. And I'm just the guy out front who tries to remember the words.
All right. And what is your main instrument? Is it vocals?
My main instrument is guitar. I'm not a lead guitarist by any means, but I play guitar in solo shows and with my trio and my duo. But the vocals are all mine, augmented by some very fine background singers when we record or when we play gigs in Nashville in that area.
Okay. What's your favorite place to gig at?
Wow, I've got to say that it's a little place on Blues Highway 61 north of Baton Rouge called Teddy's Juke Joint. That's a place back in a bayou that's had all kinds of blues people over the last half century and more. And my wife was worried because it was down in the bayou and I was probably the only white person for 10 miles around. But Teddy was wonderful and everything goes really well there.
Awesome. That just sounds like a cool place to gig.
It was. It's the kind of place that you think about going to and people listen even though they're drinking and stuff. You know, restaurants get loud, house concerts are great, but blues houses, if they like you, are really fun.
Yeah, for sure. So tell us a little bit about your songwriting process. How do you get started?
When I write, it's mostly kind of from hunger. It's the mood that I'm in. Now, a great deal of the stuff that I and we do is covers. I figure other people write much better songs than I do, but we've got some out there. We've got some on the recordings. Some of them have to do with girlfriends and old girlfriends. Wife and I wrote one when we saw a guy on the side of the road with a pickup truck, and we made up a song that told the story of how he had left his wife because she'd done him wrong.
Tell us a little bit about your band.
The band is just outstanding, and I've got to be honest, they're really not my band. When I play trio and duo in the Texas area, it's a great bassist named Duke Davis, sometimes a different person. Harp players come in, but the heart of the recordings are really A-level session guys and gigging guys in the Nashville area. Lead guitarist Bill Hullett, who now produces our albums as well. We had Charlie McCoy, arguably one of the two best harmonica players in the country right now. Just great people. Dow Tomlin, Clayton Ivey on keys and B3. They're wonderful with me. And as I say, they don't laugh at me. And I learn an awful lot from them. Every person I've met in the music business has been a very nice person.
Yeah. I think that's very underscored because everybody thinks it's all these nightmare scenarios, but I think the people that are in the nitty gritty and people that are doing it for the right reasons, they're all pretty cool people. I don't think I've been seen any terrorized I think when you get to the top, or maybe people are doing it for the wrong reasons, but I agree with you.
That's neat. It sounds like we share a bit of background, and I'm pleased about that. I'm still learning. I'm 79 years old, for goodness sake. Don't tell anybody, and I hope none of the audience tells anybody. But I'm having a good time going to Nashville every 2 or 3 years, just meeting wonderful folks. They're so helpful, and what can I say? If we get nominated, I'm paying their way to LA.
Yeah. Are you influenced by any old records, and if so, which ones?
Oh, yeah. I was so fortunate back in Oklahoma and Minneapolis to meet and learn from Josh White Sr. Hoyt Axton was an acquaintance before he passed away. Mike Brewer from Brewer and Shipley when he was a single. Got to Minneapolis and met John Kerner, Dave Ray, and Tony Glover. Kerner, Ray, and Glover, arguably the best white blues players at the time, and that's the way they were described by people. Let me tell you a story about Kerner, Ray, and Glover really quickly.
Sure.
We auditioned for Ted Mack's Amateur Hour, which nobody in the audience probably remembers, on the same night. It was heady wine. There were baton twirlers auditioning and stuff like that. Neither one of us got the gig, but it was a neat thing to be on the same stage with KRG.
Could you list like your top 3 songs of all time in any genre? It could be blues, could be something else.
Wow. I have played for years a tune that Josh White taught me a long time ago, Jelly Jelly. I play my version of it. So that's a standard that I play. I love Hoochie Coochie Man. I like playing it. I like talking about it. And those, I'm aware that those are in the blues genre. I've met some very nice songwriters who aren't well known. Jimmy Lee is one. We've recorded several of his tunes. I think one of the songs that you may play in a few minutes is his, Down at the Laundromat. People like John Henry McDonald, outstanding songwriters. One that passed away recently, in Austin Ladd Roberts, who wrote Bittersweet Waltz, a gorgeous tune that he wrote for his daughter's wedding, and barely got through it when he played it at his daughter's wedding. There are so many good songs in the world. I'll stop there, but there are just so many.
Okay. Tell us about this song that we're going to hear. What inspired this?
Oh, Down at the Laundromat is a Jimmy Lee tune, actually. My wife and I heard him playing it in a little Greek restaurant years ago, and Jimmy and I became acquainted. He went to Hawaii, was burned out on Maui, came back. I think it's a funny song. Jimmy is an outstanding harp player, and that's what makes the tune. We almost named the record for it, but ended up not doing that.
All right, Bill, tell you what, let's take a listen, and we'll come back and talk some more, okay?
Great.
Okay, everybody, check this out. Here we go.
Well, it's early in the morning, there ain't no doubt. They gave me no warning, all my luck's run out. I got no money, got no food to eat. I got dirty clothes and I got dirty feet down at the laundromat.
Down at the laundromat.
Oh, my.
Down at the laundromat.
Costs $1 to walk, 50 cents to dry. I started playing my guitar. They probably think I'm a nut. I know I'm not a star, but can you spare a buck? I might be here till the day I die. I need 50 cents for a box of tires down at the laundromat.
Down at the laundromat.
My.
Down at the laundromat.
It costs $1 to walk, 50 cents to drive. I got ring around the collar and I got dirty jeans. He said,
Hey, mister, you better back off.
and then she took a shot at me with spray and wash down at the laundromat. My, down at the laundromat. Oh, my, yeah. Costs $1 to wash, 50 cents. $1 to wash and 50 cents. Costs $1 to wash and 50 cents to dry.
Thank you for sharing that song with us, Bill.
Well, thank you for playing it. That's probably more airplay than I've had in years.
So tell the fans a little bit. Do you got any surprises coming this year? Anything that you're kind of want to tease?
Wow. We recently just briefly released a children's song called Frogs for Dinner that I really like. It's got real children in the chorus. We've got a special tune coming up for Christmas that's currently on YouTube, but we haven't promoted it yet. So there are surprises in that sense. Every once in a while, I decide I want to go off and write a book or something, and just got a new publisher for that. But that's not what we're talking about today.
Do you have any advice for all the songwriters out there that might be listening on touring?
Oh, sure. One is just write. Don't wait for the inspiration. Just write. The inspiration will come along, and you'll notice when it does. Never be without a pen. Maybe even while you're sleeping, have one on the nightstand beside you. Be around players and songwriters a lot. There's nothing wrong with collaborating. There's nothing wrong with working with other people. They're not going to steal your bacon, and you're going to learn things, and they'll learn things. People like the Austin Songwriters community have been helpful to me and to hundreds of other people over the years. So the first two words are just right.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. And I think the one thing, I tried to form a band many years ago, and the one guitar guy was so like, I have all my stuff copyrighted, nobody can rip me. And it's just like, I love what you said about just do it, just play, I think some people obsess about, I don't want someone to steal these 4 chords, but yet those 4 chords are played in half the pop songs. So I think you just need to get on with it sometimes,
I think you're right. And a second thing is if you're kind of starting out, particularly if you're a solo, remember the audience doesn't know what you're about to play. And for me, it's always been helpful not to copy the style of the pop star that recorded the hit. If you're playing a cover song, put your panache on it, put your trademark on it. And if you forget a verse, the audience will never know it unless you stop. So in terms of the playing part of being a songwriter, the audience is tapping its foot. If you stop, they know something's wrong. If you don't stop, 98% of the time, they don't know. Boy, am I glad for that, because 98% of the time I make a mistake, but I know how to cover it up.
Yeah, you know what? When I was first asking for advice for live shows, people would tell me that. I'd be like, what are you talking about? It's so true. People might not even be able to make out the lyrics you're singing. So if you messed up a lyric or whatever, just keep going.
Yes.
And it's okay, I think, to poke fun at yourself or to whatever, but 90% of the time, they have no clue you even made a mistake.
That's right. Keep the beat. Don't say you made a mistake unless you want to make a joke of it. And by the way, don't tune your guitar on stage.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't remember who it was. There was a really famous fight once that I saw. It was a pretty famous band where the lead singer and the guitarist, someone was annoyed at someone that they did something wrong. And people aren't going to pick that out. They have no idea.
Right.
Yeah. So tell us about where people can buy your stuff, stream it. Where can they find your stuff?
Appreciate that. It's, of course, available on Spotify, Pandora, the streaming sites. Bill Reid and TheFewerSorrowsBand is the way most of the work is titled. Bill Reid and TheFewerSorrowsBand. We're on Apple Music, Amazon Music, all the sources. If they want to come to the website at TheFewerSorrowsMusic.com, that would be great. We'll treat them right, and they can certainly communicate with me, and I promise to answer.
One last question for you. Tell us about scams. We all fall for them. Anything you want to warn us about, or anything that you want to shed light on?
Oh boy, you hit a good one. If you go on Facebook and the music folks, you'll frequently see people saying, oh, I got an honorable mention with such and such a contest or such and such an organization. If you have to pay for it, it's not really that big a compliment. So people will frequently try to be your manager or get you publicity or get you airplay somewhere. If you have to pay, it's just likely to be a scam. Now, if your manager is working and pays for certain entree or something like that, that's a different story. The manager is a pro. He or she has been in the business for a while. But pay to play really sucks. And unfortunately, by the way, in Austin, Texas, some of the famous venues do have pay to play. You give them $50 and you get 15 minutes on stage and you get to say that you played at such and such a venue. Boy, I dislike that.
That's interesting. I never even thought of that. Like, pay to play sucks, but I never even thought that people could pad their resumes by going up on stage 15 minutes, say that they played at some famous place. Wow.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow. I did not know that was a thing.
It's all around Austin. Austin is the music capital of the world. It's supposed to be. It has changed a little bit, but it's still a wonderful place. I enjoy playing in Austin. I enjoy playing other places. Wherever there's blues, I try to get in, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's usually a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I want to thank you so much for being on the show tonight, Bill. Very informative, very educational.
I appreciate being with Sarantos. I mean, geez, this is a real compliment for me. And thanks very much for doing this and for doing this for other people. You do a great thing.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you so much for saying that. And to all the listeners out there, thank you for sharing a little bit of your story and spending a little bit of time with the two of us tonight. My name is Sarantos. Please join me every other Tuesday evening to hear amazing artists share their fascinating stories right here at the Songwriter Show on Reality Radio 101. I love you all. Have a great night. Carbohydrates and rusted tin cans, white twinkly lights and quite a few fights, horseshoes and lassos, stinks and love fiascos, Lone Star sweets, lots of crazy tweets, Tex-Mex cuisine and barbecue and everything, red, white and blue, forever, loyal, tough, they're good, together. Texas, make sure you have fun, 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 fun. You gotta party in Texas, nothing better than a party in Texas. Texans love to run, love to stay home. Football rules, young stay in school. Lost the way of life, frying in olive ice, blue bun nuts, spicy big trucks. If you're baptized a Texan, you'll always be a flexin'. Red, white and blue, forever, loyal, tough, they're good, so good, together. Texas, make sure you have fun, 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 fun. You gotta party in Texas, nothing better than a party in Texas. Once upon a time, there was a Texan, loved another Texan, they had a baby Texan. Then there were Texans running around, everything well. Texas, make sure you have fun, 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 fun. You got a party here in Texas, nothing better than a party in Texas. Party in Texas, party in Texas, party in Texas. It's the coolest thing to do.
Thank you for listening to The Songwriter Show. To keep the momentum going, head over to www.songwritershow.com and join our free music community of artists, songwriters, and producers. That's www.songwritershow.com.